r/AskReddit. Which real-life cheat codes do you know? Talk positive about people behind their backs. I would never say this to her face, but she is a wonderful person and a gifted artist. What? Why wouldn't you say that to her face? Wouldn't want it going to her head. I started doing this at work about a year ago and it has literally changed my life. I actually did this on Friday with my manager without realizing at first, lol. We had a quick check-in where I talked to him about my mentor who was previously an intern, I'm currently an intern, and how he's been doing a lot of the training for me and is super helpful and patient. It just kind of came out naturally without any forcing, so it took me a minute to realize why my manager smiled when I said that, lol. Being able to talk positively about others is such a good quality to have, and I'm now realizing that it's something that I've always possessed and I'm proud of myself for it. Being polite increases your odds of getting what you want. Yep. Former retail worker here. If you're nice to me, I'll do everything in my power to help you out. If you're an ass, I'm sticking to policy 100% without any inch of movement. Same here. Back in my retail days, I worked for a department store that was a chain with stores in 3 states. If we didn't have an item in stock, we could call other stores to see if they had it and have it shipped to the customer for free. This was long before the days of the internet. However, it was time-consuming to do and expensive for the store, so the rule was we would only do it for full-priced items. If the customer wanted a sale item we didn't have, we'd call other stores, time permitting, and it was 100% okay to tell a customer we were unable to do so, and have the item placed on hold for the customer to pick it up. Other than a few ridiculous customers, the policy worked well. We had a regular customer, and who came in the store a lot, usually with her husband, and they were both very sweet. They got to know us all by name and were always smiling and polite. And found a skirt on the sale rack, super marked down, and loved it. She wanted the coordinating shirt, but we didn't have it in her size. She was so disappointed. She bought the skirt, and mentioned how she'd love to have the shirt, but would find something else to match. I told her that I'd call around to find the shirt for her, but it might take me a couple of days since I was busy. She said, "Oh, no, that's against the rules. Don't get in trouble." I told her not to worry and I was happy to help her, just don't let any other customers know I was making an exception for her. Smiley face. As luck would have it, the second store I called, out of our 15 or so locations, had the shirt in her size and was able to include it with some other items shipping to our location. I had that shirt at our location in 3 days and was able to sell it to her at the sale price. And was so happy and must have thanked me a million times. You reap what you sow. Worked at a call center for a credit card company. If you ever get hit with a late fee, politely call customer service and ask if there's a possibility of getting it waived. We didn't have to ask a supervisor or anything, just pushed it through. Have done this multiple times now for my own cards. Don't pay late fees. Editing to add, if you do call customer service and they help you out, please stay on the line and fill out the survey and give them all perfect scores. We got big bonuses on our scores and it really meant a lot when people took the time to do it. If you want to complain, do it in the comments box, not on the actual scores. One bad score can tank the bonuses even if it was a bad rating on the product and not the service provided by the agent. I currently work at a call center for a credit card company and can confirm this is a fact. The operative word here is politely. If you're a dick about it, then my amnesia kicks in and I suddenly can't remember where the refund fee button is located and my manager said no. Have friends generationally older and younger than yourself. It's a good one, but also weirdly frowned upon. I have different friend groups. My closest friend group is my age, 7 to 12 of us. I have a group of older friends who we let our dogs play together, 30 to 40 years older. Then I volunteer to manage and coordinate kids who are 15 to 20 years younger, most of them their parents are making them volunteer or it's community service hours. There is something unbelievably valuable to learn from each group, but most dismiss the younger ones because they talk in a lit manner, but on God they have respect for the grind fan. Read that as, my closest friend group is age 7 to 12, and had to double take r/hollup. Don't put who an email will be sent to until after you have it ready to send, so you can't accidentally send an unedited or unfinished emails. Extra tip, if you can't remember who you're going to send it to when you get back to it the next day, just write it at the top of the email above your greeting. Then when you go to reread it before sending, you'll realize you need to remove the name. I always start my email with their name, such as Hikes Fkaj Skavd. Your Reddit name is a bitch to type out without using copy/paste. Please consider this in the future. Thanks. Sober Dude. Before we go further, please press the red subscribe button below if you're enjoying this so far. I got a job as security at a concert venue because ticket prices were getting to be insane and I wanted to see some shows. Turns out I also got to meet some rock stars. Best of all, you get paid to go to concerts and big events with mind-blowing ticket prices. Worked for an event security company for 2 years. Met famous people, saw amazing things and got paid for doing it. Diarrhea is the best excuse to get out of anything. No one questions it and no one expects you to go to a doctor for it. Yep, that or vomiting. No employer, none of your friends or family wants you showing up puking or on the verge of shitting yourself having to run to the bathroom, lol. If you plan on taking Friday off due to tummy issues, begin planting the seeds on Thursday by taking an excessive amount of fake trips to the bathroom. Can you believe JDA called out today? I think it might be legit, boss. I saw him go to the shitter like 10 times yesterday afternoon. Cutting out daily drinks with sugar like sodas or frappuccinos really helps with weight loss if you do nothing else. I was like, hell yeah, I'm like 3 months soda free. Then I was like, keep my sugar/coffee/cream dessert breakfasts drinks out of your filthy mouth. When your alarm goes off in the morning, do not think. Only react. If you sit up immediately and start getting out of bed, it becomes a reflex. No more lying in bed for hours, trying to wake up. Now I hear my alarm and brain is alert and ready. I try to remind myself that staying in bed longer won't give me any more rest, it'll just make me suffer longer. Managers, give your employees the credit they deserve for everything they do, especially talk them up to your bosses. This is a literal win/win. Your employees love you for respecting them, and your boss loves you for successfully managing a great team. Too many times I see bad managers bring their own egos into the mix, feeling like they need to compete with their own employees to take credit for jobs well done. This does not have the effect they think it has. Best boss I ever had always said, my job is to make your job easier. Confidence can get you super far. Like, if you just act extremely confident and normal and totally fine about whatever it is you're doing, anything nearly, people won't question it. You're supposed to be here, just walk on in. Or out, or whatever. That's the attitude to have. I cannot believe how well this works for some of the nicest people as well as the biggest jerks alive. It works. There was a sketch on Kids in the Hall about a guy who said, how far can you get on good looks and charm? Pretty far. He was wearing blood-stained surgeon scrubs at a hospital. As a management consultant, 2 of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten are: never be afraid to be the one to end the call, and don't sell past the close. The first one's obvious, everyone hates that awkward period at the end of a conference call, when it's pretty much over, but no one's willing/ready to just say it. If it's really over, don't hesitate to just say, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day. The second one's actually way more important. If you're in a meeting trying to land a contract, and they say, sounds good. Let's do it. Then shut up, shake their hand, say, we'll get you a draft agreement tomorrow, and walk out the door. No small talk, and definitely no following up on that point we were discussing in the middle of the meeting that you seemed interested in. There's no upside. You can't make them more ready, they've already agreed. Best worst case is you bring up some kind of new point that makes them want to step back, and talk more about the overall plan before they're ready to sign. Worst case is you bring up something they didn't realize, and you scotch the deal before you've left the room. Which I've seen happen more than once. I always thought of your second point as, take yes for an answer. Used to see this mistake all the time when I was a lobbyist. When someone's wrong on the internet, type out what you want to say, then delete it once you've got it out of your system. It's incredibly cathartic, as you organize your sources and logic, you get the time to sort out what you think and why, and you can calm down a bit as you let reason take the wheel instead of your emotions, which lets you realize that nothing you say matters to them anyway. If you find that your finished product is particularly well written, feel free to save it off to the side as a sort of personal study, if you want. Excellent Zen hack. For me it was, maintain a healthy weight, which most people think is to help your overall health, and yes, that's very true, but from a pain standpoint it's really great. Like several of you, I'm sure, I'm just in pain all the time. Maybe it's my back, or my neck, or my knees, but goddamn if getting from the beginning of the day to the end of the day doesn't hurt. Turns out, losing weight and keeping that under control, which means adding in the gym a few times a week and watching what I eat for 4 to 5 days a week, makes all that pain go away. And in hindsight I knew this, but to actually feel it was a world of difference. Someone once told me, you suffer alone, and it's true. You also feel good alone. So, better to have the latter of the two options. If you have a hobby, relegate one day a month, at least, to doing something major, tied to it. If you like fishing in the afternoon some days, set aside a whole day to start early, go to that place you wanted to fish at, and set up for the whole day to do what you enjoy. I, personally, like tanks. I make model kits and play games involving them. So, once a month, I make it a point to find a museum that's hosting tanks and go visit it. Bovington is a 2-hour drive, but I never feel like it wasn't worth it, even if I'm just wandering around stuff I've seen before. Simply find a big thing tied to your hobby, and do it. You'll find that hobby far more engaging. It's easier said than done, but life is literally so much easier now that I am 100 pounds less than I used to be, I am way more rested, probably had mild sleep apnea before, literally sprint upstairs now, barely sweat anymore, spend less on food, and now that my body is adjusted I'm no more hungry than before, clothes actually fit and I'm excited to try new stuff on. Everyone treats you better, from coworkers to your boss to random people you see. Women are much more engaged when talking to me, and I've even been cold approached a few times now. I used to basically be invisible to society, so it is such a dramatic change from where I was 2 years ago. One that I used to know years ago, when I would come home from college I worked for a home appliance rental company in delivery and install. Sometimes we would deliver coin/card operated laundry units to apartments. One time we did a full replacement of about 12 coin-operated washers and dryers to new Maytags that used a card system. The senior guy who drove our delivery truck and told me what to do showed me how to reset the units and make them automatically go into run mode, and how to force off the system just by pushing buttons. No key card needed, nothing to unlock or disassemble. He was surprised by how many questions I asked, and he was pleased that I was showing interest in the work and said as much. Well yeah, I said, these are the same exact units we have at college. I'm never paying for laundry again. He looked at me for a solid 10 seconds, rubbed his eyes and said, I'm going to pretend I didn't just hear that. Whenever I asked questions from then on he always asked why I wanted to know. Didn't pay for laundry anymore at school though. LOL. Thanks for watching. Please press the like button if you enjoyed and the notification bell next to the subscribe button to never miss another video. Let me know your thoughts below. Bye.